I've really actually turned my attention with the kind of like media content creators that we're trying to bring on to our network. And we're kind of moving Ars Longa Media, at least at this time, and I don't know if it'll continue forever, but certainly I don't have plans to really focus on much else right now than bringing together people who are talking about recovery or addiction medicine, who are involved in creating content to educate. The general public or physicians or other clinicians on how to treat or understand addiction. And so the passion project that I have been sketching out in loose ways initially, actually when I remember the first call about this medical student addiction 101 series. I still have like the little notes, but I was like, we could do this. And I was jotting things down, and it's taken shape as what we call our addiction recovery project. And that is three components principally that we would like to do. One is to create a new addiction recovery related podcast that will launch or that will comprise thematic seasons. So we do like addiction and the music industry, or addiction and comedians, or something that makes it worth listening to for a general audience, but has that sort of like didactic bent in terms of just educating people. And because I'm a physician, there's always this kind of like, how does this relate to health thing in the back of my mind. And so we want to launch this project with the first season of this podcast being focused on musicians telling stories of their own recovery and how getting treatment improved their lives and impacted their art. And there's a lot of musicians and other creative types, like even a lot of my patients who, their addiction may have taken their ability to complete their education. But, it's like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? Or like, what are you into? And they're like, oh, actually, I draw. And I'm, okay, well, what do you draw? And then they show me these elaborate, very talented things. And it's like, I, there seems to be, at least phenomenologically, a connection between people who have a tendency towards developing addiction and those who have gifts of creativity beyond a lot of us. And I don't know that that's something that can be studied in a randomized controlled trial way. But there is still data in terms of, the experience that a lot of us have. I mean, how many songs deal with the struggle of a person against their, demons, which, modern Juice World, that poor kid lost his life at like 21 to really severe addiction. Things stand out to me like Johnny Cash's version of Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails' song Hurt, where Johnny Cash made that song his own. And it was born a lot out of his own experiences, having an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. And so we want to find artists. We want to make an album of cover songs related to addiction and recovery. And then we want to put that out to the world, and to third component, support a cultural shift in how people talk about, view, or act towards all topics addiction. And to me, supporting the Treat Addiction, Save Lives initiative is a huge part of that. Like, it's a simple message, but it's those are often the most effective. It's something that physicians can understand. It's something that patients can understand, and their families, who are often going to be essential components to getting people to get their lives back. So